Chernobyl's mutant legends versus scientific reality. Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to the channel where we dive into the intriguing, the mysterious, and the downright mind-blowing. Today, we're heading into the heart of one of the most enigmatic places on Earth, Chernobyl. You've probably heard the spine-chilling tales: mutant animals roaming deserted streets, strange creatures lurking in the shadows, and a landscape transformed by radiation into something out of a sci-fi movie. But have you ever wondered what's real and what's just legend? Well, grab a snack and get comfy, because we're about to embark on a journey to uncover the truth behind Chernobyl's mutant legends. Let's get started. Brief overview of the Chernobyl disaster. First off, let's set the scene with a quick history lesson. On April 26, 1986, at precisely 1:23 a.m., a seemingly routine safety test at reactor number 4 of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant in Ukraine went catastrophically wrong. A sudden power surge led to a series of explosions, and the reactor's core was exposed. This disastrous event released massive amounts of radioactive particles into the atmosphere, about 400 times more than the Hiroshima atomic bomb. The immediate impact was devastating. 2 plant workers lost their lives that night, and over the following weeks, 28 more people succumbed to acute radiation sickness. The birth of mutant legends. With such a dramatic backdrop, it's no wonder that stories of mutants and monsters started to circulate. Let's dive into how these legends took root. Chernobyl's eerie ambiance and tragic history made it prime material for storytellers, filmmakers, and game developers. Movies like Chernobyl Diaries and shows like HBO's Chernobyl captivated audiences worldwide, blending fact with creative fiction. Video games like Stalker and Call of Duty portrayed the exclusion zone as a hazardous wasteland teeming with mutants and anomalies. These compelling narratives fueled public fascination and shaped perceptions of Chernobyl as a mysterious, almost supernatural place. Common mutant myths. Over time, tales began to emerge about strange sightings in the exclusion zone. People claimed to have seen giant wolves the size of bears, fish so mutated they barely resembled their species, and even plants that glowed in the dark. Photos and videos surfaced on the internet, supposedly showing these anomalies. Some spoke of animals with multiple heads or limbs, and rumors swirled about secret government experiments hidden deep within the zone. Psychological factors. But why are we so captivated by these stories? Well, it's human nature to fear and be intrigued by the unknown. Places like Chernobyl, shrouded in mystery and off-limits for so long, become fertile ground for myths and legends. Our imaginations fill in the gaps where information is scarce. Understanding radiation and mutation. Alright, time to put on our science hats. Let's break down what radiation actually does and how it affects living organisms. So, radiation is energy that comes from a source and travels through space. It can be in the form of particles or electromagnetic waves. There's non-ionizing radiation and ionizing radiation, which has enough energy to remove electrons from atoms, creating ions. Ionizing radiation is what we're concerned with here, and it includes alpha particles, beta particles, gamma rays, and neutron radiation, the types released during a nuclear accident like Chernobyl. How radiation affects living organisms. When ionizing radiation passes through living tissue, it can damage the DNA within cells. This can lead to several outcomes. The cell repairs itself correctly, the cell dies, or the cell repairs itself incorrectly, leading to mutations. Most mutations are harmful or neutral, only a tiny fraction might be beneficial. In reality, mutations don't usually create superpowers or monstrous features. Misconceptions about radiation-induced mutations. Thanks to pop culture, many people think radiation exposure can lead to drastic, visible mutations, like turning a regular turtle into a teenage mutant ninja turtle or giving someone superhuman abilities. In reality, the process is far less dramatic. Mutations caused by radiation are typically small changes at the cellular level. Plus, the extent of mutations depends on the radiation dose and the duration of exposure. Scientific studies and findings. Now, let's delve into what scientists have actually discovered in the exclusion zone over the past few decades. Since the 1990s, researchers have been granted access to the exclusion zone to study the effects of radiation on the environment. Institutions from around the world have conducted extensive studies. It's like a massive open-air laboratory, albeit one born of tragedy. Documented mutations in flora and fauna. Yes, there have been documented mutations. For instance, some trees in the red forest showed stunted growth and physical deformities. Certain species of birds have been found with partial albinism, deformed beaks, or smaller brain sizes. Insects and microbes have shown increased mutation rates. But here's the key point. These mutations are generally subtle and not the grotesque anomalies that myths suggest. Impact on biodiversity. Surprisingly, despite the radiation, the exclusion zone has become a haven for wildlife. Studies have shown that the absence of humans has allowed animal populations to thrive. Species that were rare or absent from the region before the disaster, like lynxes and European bison, have now established themselves there. It's a testament to how human activity often has a more immediate impact on wildlife than radiation does. The reality of wildlife in Chernobyl. Let's explore what's really happening with the animals living in the exclusion zone. With humans out of the picture, large mammals have reclaimed the land. Wolf populations in the exclusion zone are estimated to be 7 times higher than in surrounding reserves. Brown bears, elusive in the area for over a century, have returned. Wild boar, deer, and moose roam freely. Adaptation and survival. Animals have shown an incredible ability to adapt to the radiation levels. Some studies suggest that certain species have developed mechanisms to repair DNA damage more effectively. Birds, for example, have higher levels of antioxidants like glutathione, which help mitigate radiation effects. It's not that they're immune to radiation, but they've found ways to cope with it better than expected. Ecosystem recovery. The exclusion zone offers a unique glimpse into how ecosystems recover from human abandonment. Without farming, industrial activity, and urban development, the land has reverted to a more natural state. Forests have expanded, wetlands have returned, and biodiversity has flourished. Debunking the myths. Time to set the record straight on those mutant legends. Take the stories of giant catfish in the cooling ponds near the power plant. Videos show enormous fish swimming lazily in the water. While they are indeed big, it's not due to mutations. These catfish can grow large naturally, and the lack of fishing pressure allows them to reach impressive sizes. False evidence and hoaxes. The internet can be a breeding ground for sensationalism. Photos of mutant animals are often manipulated or taken out of context. Sometimes, images of deformed animals from other regions or causes are misattributed to Chernobyl to create shocking content. Expert opinions. Scientists who have dedicated their careers to studying Chernobyl's environment emphasize that while radiation has biological effects, it doesn't result in the dramatic mutations portrayed in popular media. Their research points to increased mutation rates at the genetic level but not to the extent of producing new species or monstrous forms. The human element. Let's not forget about the people connected to Chernobyl. Amazingly, some residents, known as self-settlers, have returned to live within the exclusion zone. Mostly elderly, they chose to go back to their ancestral homes despite the risks. They grow their own food and live simple lives, coexisting with the wildlife around them. The role of tourism. In recent years, Chernobyl has become a tourist destination. Guided tours allow visitors to explore the exclusion zone, visit the abandoned city of Pripyat, and learn about the disaster's history. While tourism brings awareness, it also has the potential to perpetuate myths if not handled responsibly. Cultural significance. Chernobyl has seeped into our cultural consciousness. It's a symbol of technological failure, human error, and the consequences of cutting corners. But it's also a story of recovery and hope. Artists, writers, and filmmakers draw inspiration from it, sparking discussions about nuclear energy, environmental responsibility, and the delicate balance between humanity and nature. Lessons learned in the future. What can we learn from Chernobyl, and where do we go from here? Chernobyl offers a unique case study in how ecosystems respond to extreme events. The resilience of nature highlights the importance of conservation and respecting natural processes. It shows that when given space, wildlife can thrive even in challenging conditions. Nuclear safety and policy. The disaster had profound implications for nuclear energy. It led to significant changes in safety protocols, reactor design, and international cooperation on nuclear issues. Countries re-evaluated their energy strategies, and agencies strengthened regulations. Chernobyl serves as a stark reminder that technological advancements come with responsibilities. Emphasizing accurate science communication. Perhaps one of the most critical lessons is the need for accurate and transparent communication. Misinformation can spread fear and hinder understanding. By promoting scientific literacy and critical thinking, we empower people to make informed decisions. Let's strive to replace myths with facts and sensationalism with education. Conclusion. Let's bring it all together. So, we've journeyed through the eerie landscapes of Chernobyl, peeling back the layers of myth to uncover the scientific realities. While the mutant legends make for thrilling stories, The truth is that Chernobyl's tale is one of nature's resilience and the intricate dance between humans and the environment. Final thoughts. The true story of Chernobyl is both sobering and uplifting. It's a testament to the consequences of our actions and the incredible ability of life to adapt and persevere. By understanding the realities, we can appreciate the complexity and wonder of the world around us. Closing statement. In the shadows of one of humanity's greatest tragedies, life has not only persisted but, in many ways, thrived. The reality may not be as sensational as the legends, but it's no less extraordinary. Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery and reflection. Remember, sometimes the truth is even more fascinating than fiction. Call to action. Before you head out, I'm curious. What are your thoughts on Chernobyl's legacy? Did any of the information surprise you? Let's chat in the comments below. Your insights make this community vibrant. Encourage further exploration. If you're eager to learn more, I've linked some reputable documentaries and articles in the description. Dive in and feed that curiosity. Subscribe and follow. If you enjoyed this video and want to join me on more explorations into fascinating topics, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Turning on notifications means you'll never miss an adventure. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.